I said yesterday we were going to start today looking at something different, something that I believe could help our nation and help maybe even the local church you attend. Well, today I'm going to specifically talk about the local church you're part of, the local church that I'm part of. What could help us? What lessons could we get from Sodom and Gomorrah? Because often the lessons we get more or less really don't have a lot to do with the church. It has more or less to do with the sin that is in the world, and that is true. But what lessons can we learn within the church? Well, I'm going to tell you something that I find in this account. When Lot was visited by the angels, there was a horrible act that was tried to be performed upon these angels, and any Bible reader knows what I'm talking about. And that is normally where we stop and just bring out that horrible sin that is going on greatly in the day in which we live. But there's a lesson that I see that the church needs to learn. It may sound silly, may sound simple, but I think it's a big lesson. I believe the Bible teaches it in a big way. You see, when those angels came into that area, were they treated with hospitality? Were they welcomed? Or were they treated in a harsh way? Were they treated in an inhumane way? You see, that's what I want to talk about probably today and tomorrow, and then we'll move on to something else for the next day or two. I believe today we see a lot of negative things happen in the world of religion, and I don't even like to talk about religion. I'm not a religious person. I'm a Christian. I'm a child of God. But I believe today we need to make a stand against sin, and that is true. But I believe today we have the privilege as local churches to have visitors, people that maybe don't attend church on a regular basis. The question I want to ask us, do we treat them with hospitality? Do we welcome them? Do they know that we love them as God loves them? Do they know that we want them to know the same God we know? Or do they come in and feel an unwelcoming spirit? I'm not saying this in a mean, hateful way, but I believe that is part of the sin that was in Sodom and Gomorrah that is often overlooked. Yes, there was the obvious sin, but there was a spirit there that if you weren't like them, you weren't welcome. Today, when people come into the church that I'm part of, the church that you're part of, and they're different, do we welcome them? Just something to think about.